Hi everybody, welcome to another Wellness Wednesday. This is Michelle. If you're joining me today, give me a little thumbs up or a heart. Let me know that you're part of this. If you have any questions, please ask away. Today I'm introducing the concept of detoxification. So the detoxification of not only the body, but also the mind. Hi, Kiri. And so I just wanted to introduce that. I wanted just to go into some of the concepts of detoxification. So I love spring. Not only is it a time of new beginnings and of rebirth, but it's also a time to reset and, hi Laura, to reset and recharge. It's a time to let go of the old and bring in the new. So with this, I want to give just an overview of detoxification and why it's important. Then I'll talk a little bit about the principles of detoxifying. So in Ayurveda, detoxification is the process of eliminating ama. So ama basically literally means undigested food or undigested thoughts. Detoxing is about resting and cleansing and nourishing the body and the mind from the inside out. There's various ways to detox. Some are much more rigid than others. So this is a short discussion, and I want to make it as simple as possible for you to implement the concept of detoxification into your life. So the goal of detoxifying is to remove impurities from the organs of the body, as well as impurities or negativity from the mind. So you will know you need to detox if you have any of the following symptoms. But I really believe in detoxing twice a year. Once in the spring, and then usually more of a gentle detoxification in the fall. But the spring is a perfect time for implementing a detoxification ritual or program. So if you feel any of these following symptoms, it's probably your body letting you know that it's a good time to kind of do a little bit of a cleanup. So if you have unexplained fatigue or irritability, if you have irritation or inflammation of the skin, such as rashes or breakouts, allergies, lots of people suffer from allergies this time of year, and generally that is a really good indication of doing a little bit of a clean out of what you're bringing into your body. So low-grade infections such as UTIs, so urinary tract infections. If you have puffy eyes or really dark circles under your eyes, that's also a good indication. That's something that I've always suffered from. So that's one of my first kind of indications that maybe I need to clean things up a little bit, is when I really notice the dark circles under my eyes. Bloating, mental confusion. So if your mind just isn't quite as quick as it was, say previously, then you're like, okay, maybe I have some toxins going on. And a thickly coated tongue. So the tongue can be either a thick white coating, or brown or gray. So there's various different colors that your tongue will give an indication of, the ama or the toxins in your body. And then also like unexplained muscle aches, like if you wake up in the morning and you just feel, you just feel achy kind of everywhere. Again, that's another really clear indication that you have a buildup of toxins in the body, an overload of toxins. So one of the first things you want to do when you want to start a detoxification program is actually eliminating and lightening up the toxic load. So that's first thing, you're like, okay, how can I kind of clean up my diet? What can I do to kind of clean up my diet? So obviously the elimination of alcohol. If you smoke, probably a good idea to maybe take a break on that. Coffee or really high caffeinated beverages, obviously no pops, sodas, anything like that. Any type of refined sugars, want to kick those to the curb. Saturated fats such as cow dairy, so butter, cheeses, yogurt, dressings, any kind of dressings that have cream in them, and they also have a lot of added sugar, so you want to just remove those from your diet. Gluten, wheat, and high starch foods, so removing those is a good idea. And then packaged or processed foods. So when you're thinking about detoxification, you want to just really think about whole foods, eliminating anything that obviously is packaged and really isn't a whole food. So let's talk a little bit about stress. So stress is also a huge factor in the buildup of toxins. It's not something that we often think about, building up toxins in our body and in our mind, but stress is a huge factor. So stress releases stress hormones in the body that can affect the kidneys and also the liver, which directly affect their ability to release enzymes and to clean the blood. So we don't think about that, but that's a good thing to kind of keep in mind. I want to emphasize what would be some of the good things to bring into your life after you've let go some of the toxic products or foods. So let's talk a little bit about that. So eating a high fiber diet with plenty of organic vegetables and fresh fruit. Fruit can sometimes cause that buildup of sugar in the body and in the blood, make it a little bit more difficult for the pancreas to do what it needs to do. So really limiting your fruit intake to maybe 1 or 2 servings a day, but really building up that vegetable intake. So some of the vegetables that would be beneficial to bring into your diet would be beets, radishes, mushrooms, cabbage, greens. So I love greens, any type of green, kale, chard, spinach, dandelion greens, beet greens, parsley, different things like that. Seaweeds like kelp or kombu. Oftentimes with seaweeds, I'll make a seaweed salad. Or if I'm making a grain or I'm making a soup, I'll actually take a piece of kombu and actually add it into the soup, kind of like a bay leaf, and let the nutrients of that seaweed do what it needs to do. Hi, Isaac. And then pulling the seaweed out before you eat the soup. I also use powder spirulina and chlorella daily, and that helps to build and clean your blood. Herbs such as dandelion root, burdock, milk thistle, ginger, turmeric, and there's another herb, it's called triphala. It's actually an Ayurvedic herb, and it's used specifically for detoxifying and for improving your digestive health and your elimination. So that's called triphala. Vitamin C is another really important element to bring into your body. This helps the body to produce glutathione, which is a liver compound that clears out toxins. So something to keep in mind there. Right now, during this time, I'm taking upwards to 8,000 milligrams of vitamin C, but you want to increase slowly to bowel tolerance. You will know when you're taking too much vitamin C because your stools will become very watery. So you want to back down to the previous dose. You're wanting to drink at least 2 liters of water a day. Or another option is taking your body weight, dividing that in half, and then converting that to ounces. And that's actually how many ounces of water you're supposed to have as a baseline every day. So that can be a lot of water depending on what your size is. So, and you never want to drink ice water or cold water. You want your water to be always room temperature or hot. Drinking cold water actually slows down the digestive system and makes the digestive system more sluggish. So in Ayurveda, I always, base a lot of what I say on Ayurvedic principles. Agni is your digestive fire. So you want that Agni to be strong and to be working optimally. So the ice water is not a good idea. Hi, Jody. Deep breathing. So I'm going to talk about this on another Wellness Wednesday. We're going to talk about what's called pranayama, which is breathing exercises. So deep breathing is really important for the detoxification program. And just for now, just focus on, really slow, deep inhalations, full inhalations, and full, deep, slow exhalations. Another thing to use with detoxification is hydrotherapy. So if you're having a warm shower or a warm bath, you can actually rinse yourself with cold water. So say you're having a warm shower, turn the hot off, slowly to kind of let your body acclimatize to the cold, and then maybe do a good blast of 30 seconds to a minute of cold. You can also alternate between having a warm shower and a cold shower. So you can go into the shower, get your body warm about 5 minutes or so, and then again, turning the hot off, and then you can rinse yourself with the cold water. And you can do that alternating about 3 times. And I tell you, you'll come out of that shower feeling $1,000,000. Sweating daily is essential. That's why in another Wellness Wednesday, we're going to talk about pranayama, because there's certain types of breathing exercises that actually create sweat and a lot of heat in your body. So sweating daily, exercising, yoga, walking, whatever it is that makes you feel good and that you're able to get a bit of a sweat, hot baths, and if you have access to a sauna, then an infrared sauna is absolutely fantastic. I don't have one. I wish I had one, but really great way to get the sweat going. Another detoxification method is dry skin brushing. So you can get a dry skin brush from any kind of local drugstore. And when you're dry skin brushing, you want to always do it towards the heart. So that helps actually stimulate and clean the lymphatic system. So the lymphatic system really needs that kind of gentle movement to get stimulated. Walking, jumping, like on a rebounder, dry skin brushing, fantastic for getting that lymphatic system flowing. Fresh juicing. Perfect time of year right now to be juicing. So right now I'm juicing mostly celery, parsley, ginger, garlic. I do lemon and lime and turmeric root. And that's juice that I have once or twice a day. I don't like to add too many sweet vegetables in my juicing, like carrots or parsnips or things like that, or apple, because I'm trying to actually decrease the sugar with the detoxification. Another really great thing to implement is organic vegetable soups. It's a great way to give your body a rest, make it easier for digestion and assimilation. In Ayurveda, we make a dish called khichdi. And khichdi is split mung bean and basmati rice, and you can put vegetables in it, whatever vegetables you want. And I'm going to share that recipe actually later on this week as well. It's super easy to make and it's actually super delicious. And that's something that you can actually use on a detoxification program and eat that throughout the day as well. And again, like I said, I'll share that recipe later this week. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the detoxification of the mind. So I want to remind you that the body and mind are one. I know we know that, but sometimes it's really good to really take that concept in. You can't separate one from the other. So you will find that the better you feel physically, the better you'll feel mentally, and vice versa. So the better you feel mentally, the better you'll feel physically. I mentioned how stress can create a buildup of toxins in the mind and the body. And stress comes from our thoughts and how we perceive the stress through our thoughts to a particular event or situation. It's usually a projection into the future that creates the stressful thoughts and the feelings of anxiety or fear. It's very difficult to feel a lot of anxiety or fear if you're actually allowing yourself to be in the moment. So just that concept of planning out what's going to happen can create a lot of that anxiety and fear, which creates the toxins in the body. So I'm going to give you just a few tips on how to declutter your thoughts and detox your mind. Like anything, the more we do it, the more it begins to feel like part of us. The same goes for our thoughts. So the more negative thoughts perpetuates more negative thoughts. More positive thoughts perpetuates more positive thoughts. This is actually a big conversation, and with wanting to keep this really easy to digest, I'm not going to go deeper into this, but I think this will be another conversation or another talk that we'll have on a Wellness Wednesday. So something to keep in mind when you become more aware of your internal dialogue is just that, like positive begets positive, negative begets negative. We have the ability at any given moment to decide what we want to focus on. We can decide what thoughts are serving us and what thoughts are not. Some of the ways to detox your mind is to begin with awareness. Just that. Just being aware. Ask yourself, what are some of the ways you want to grow in your life? For me, I'm on a spiritual journey and I want to grow to be more loving and more compassionate and a more conscious person. That's something that I work on a daily basis, but it can be anything positive that you want to focus your life on. So I would just leave you with this question: where do you want to grow in your life? What is it that you want to put the positive energy towards? Spending more time outdoors, if you're able to. I love nature. I feel such a deep connection to nature. Spending time outdoors brings inspiration and connection and actually increases your energy levels. So if you're able to spend time outdoors, then that's a really good thing to add into your day. And if not, just even opening up the window, and if you have trees around you, or if you the birds around you, just listening to the bird song is actually beautiful as well. Taking a break from technology. This is a good one, especially now. I think people are on their phones and computers maybe a little bit more than usual. So in order to practice self-reflection and get into a deeper state of clarity, you need to set aside time without distractions. Leave your phone at home if you go for a walk. Silence your notifications. Disconnect from your phone and computer for at least an hour before you go to bed. Turn that thing off, put it on airplane mode, and unplug. And you'll notice a difference in your sleep. Actually, it'll really help your sleep. Take a break from news and negative TV. So this is essential this is essential all the time, but now I think more than ever. Try to choose something to replace your nightly news time. So maybe cooking something that you haven't tried before, trying a new recipe, listening to some music, watch a funny show if you feel like you want to have the TV on, or maybe go for a walk. Even just limiting your time in front of the news or negative TV will have a benefit. So maybe, for example, you do a half an hour a day. Think about maybe dialing that down by half and maybe just 15 minutes a day. Meditation. So I'm going to be offering more guidance around meditation in some of the Wellness Wednesday talks, but for today, when you notice your mind is racing and you're jumping from one thought to another, can you take a few moments just to focus on your breathing? That's it. Just focus on your breath and allow your body to release and relax with every long, slow inhale and long, slow exhale. Practice doing this every time you're aware of your monkey mind, because we did talk about how that awareness is really important. So your mind's going to be going, and just notice and just bring yourself to your breath. even if it's a few breaths. Just breathe. Journaling. So I do what's called expressive writing. There's no filter. You just write it out. So you take about 15, maybe 20 minutes, and you write down anything that's bugging you, that's weighing heavy on you, that you just can't seem to maybe move past. It is so extremely freeing. This is something that I've done for many years. Often actually after I write it out, and sometimes I'll type it out on my computer depending on how fast those thoughts are going, how fast I need to get it out, and then I will burn it. So just letting it go. I mean, you want to not feel like you're filtering yourself in any way. You don't want someone else to read that. So you want to make sure that when you write this out, you rip it up, tear it up, get rid of it, or you burn it. It's a complete clearing out of the negative that just won't let up. And again, do not filter. Some stuff that comes out, you're like, oh girl, like, but it's essential. It's essential. We all have the negative part of us. You cannot just have the positive. So remember that negative is there, and we want to try and move through it and get past it without hanging on to it too much, okay? Someone's laughing. So thank you so much. This was a little bit longer than normal. I had a lot to say. Thank you so much for joining me for another Wellness Wednesday. If you have any questions or comments, please post them below. There's Matilda saying hi. There's Matilda saying hi. And if you want to reach me personally, you can email me at naturesayurveda@yahoo.ca, or you can direct message me. Hi, sister. Hi, Erin. Mwah. Okay. In love and light. Bye, you guys. Bye.